I'm creating this video to go over the roof types that I was trying to do the other night when I was having problems. And I'd like to demonstrate several different roof types. The first one I want to create is show you how to create a dormer. And I've got several little houses here, and I'm on the first floor plan. So I'm going to go ahead and start and put a roof on this guy here. And I want it to be on the roof plan level. So I will go to the roof plan level. And if you do this and you cannot see the walls below, what you need to do is come over here to your properties panel, and where you see range level, base range level here, I've got that turned to level 1, and that allows me to see down through the roof to the first floor. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go pick my roof tool here. And let's find a good roof here. I'm going to use this wood rafter 8-inch asphalt shingle as my roof type. I look up here and I see now my ribbon has all the tools that I need for it. I'm coming down here to the options bar, and here's where I can define slope. And I'm going to go ahead and click that for the first two anyway. I'm going to create a gable roof here. So I want only two edges to define the slope. And I'm giving it a nice overhang of 1/6. And I don't care if it extends the wall to the core. And I think everything looks pretty good. It's going to be a gable roof. And I want this side here to slope, and this one here to slope. Make sure my dash line is on the outside. And now I'm going to turn off define slope, because I don't want the ends to slope. And I'm going to look at the slope here. That's pretty narrow. I'm going to make this 9/12 slope. Excuse me. And apply. And I'm going to say OK to that. And I'm going to go to my 3D view to see what it looks like. Here it is right here. These walls can go up to the roof. So I'm going to pick this wall and pick this wall back here. And I'm going to click on attach top base. And what I want to do is I want to attach the top to that roof. So now I've got a proper roof. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put a dormer in this roof. To do that, I'm going to go back to my roof level. And I am going to, first of all, create some walls. So I'm going to get my wall tool. And I don't want a brick one. I'm just going to say, a generic 5 inches wall here. And I'm going to use my rectangle tool here. And maybe put it someplace like this. And I'm going to go ahead and accept that for now and come back and make some changes to it. So I'm going to I think I'll go to maybe go to the 3D view, would be the best place to see it. So there are my walls. I want to go ahead and put a window in here. That's what a dormer's for. So I'm going to grab my window tool and double hung 36 by 40. Yeah, that works. So let's drop that guy in there like this. And now I want to go ahead maybe and I don't need all this space for the window. When you put a dormer window in, you really want to have just a minimal amount of space on the edges, just enough for some nice trim work. casing to go around it. I'm going to go back to my roof plan. And there's that window. So I'm going to bring these walls in like this. I think something like that will look pretty good. Let's put a section through there to see what it looks like. Going to my View tab with my section tool, and I'm going to run it right through there. And I need to raise that a little bit. Don't want it sitting right on your roof. And now, of course, I don't need all this height, so I can go ahead and change the offset of that. Let's see, roof. We don't need 8 feet. Let's try 6. That's not enough. Let's go to 7. That'll work. Going back to my 3D view, and this guy here needs to go to 7 also. And now I can go ahead and I can put my roof on my dormer. So I'm going to go back to my roof level again. And I'm going to go grab my roof tool. Well, we can go ahead. 8 inches is fine. And this time I'm going to cut the overhang down way down to say 0.4, maybe 4-inch overhang. And I want to do a gabled roof here. So I'm going to pick walls here and here. And now I'm going to turn off define slope here and there. And that's my roof. And I'd rather do that myself later on. What we need now is check our section. Here's our roof. And I think we did these, what, 7? Let's try this again. 7 feet. And that puts that up there. I'm going to go to my 3D view. Let's look at the east elevation view. Awful thick. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. About like that. And now I'm going to go to my 3D view. And once again, I'm going to make all these walls go up to that roof. So I'm going to use select these walls. And attach top to there. Now what I want to do is I want to connect this roof to that roof. And there's a tool for doing that. And if I go to the Modify panel, there is a Join Roof tool here. And I'm going to go ahead and select that tool. And the first thing I do is I select the roof edge that I want to join. Correction, let me see that. Yeah, edge first, this guy here. And now where I want to join to, that roof there, and that joins those. And you notice these walls need to go back a little bit, so I'm going to go back to my roof plan. And I'm going to grab these walls here. and pull them. I don't need this wall, so I'll get rid of that wall. Okay, there we go. That we're looking pretty good here, I think. I thought I had done that. Maybe some more. I'm just grabbing the grip here and pulling those. Trying to. Try that again. There we go. So the next thing I'm going to do, well, what happened there? Yeah, that was bad because those went in obliquely. I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to go back to my roof plan here, and I'll just pull them back this way. That way I know they're going back in an orthogonal manner. I think that's good. All right. Now we need to create the hole for the dormer. So I'm going to go back to my roof plan again. And of course there's a tool for that. If I go to my architecture tab, I come over here to the openings panel, and I can see the dormer hole. I'm going to select that, and the first thing I need to do is select the roof I'm going to put the hole in, and that's this guy here. And now I need to select a roof that's going to move into it. So I'm going to select here, and now I need to select the walls. I'm going to select on the inside of these walls like this. And the reason I'm selecting on the inside is because I want these to rest on top of the roof rather than being in the hole. I need to join these up. This needs to be a closed loop. So I'm going to use the trim command, TR, enter, and go here and here. Excuse me, here. Like that. And that should be my hole, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to say OK to that. Oh, wait a minute. How are we up here? No. Once again, it's got to be a closed loop. And I'll say OK to that. And I should now have a hole in my roof, which I do. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to attach these walls to that roof. So I'm going to select them all. And I'm going to attach top and base. But this time I'm going to use base instead of top. And select this roof. And now let's see what I got. And that's looking good. There's my dormer, hole cut properly. Nice size. I could go ahead and put some trim around that a little bit. This roof's a little thick, but it's okay for this. So that's how you do a dormer. While I got this roof, there's one other thing that I want to show you. I'm going to get rid of this, keep that roof. Let's get rid of the dormer here. Get rid of all of this. And, well, I'll just make the roof new again. That way I don't have to worry about that hole. So I'm going to go to my roof plan again. And this time I'm going to make a hip roof. A hip roof is a roof where all the sides slope in equally. So architecture tab, roof tool, and that's okay. Let's get our 1-6 overhang and define slope, and let's go ahead and just create a nice little roof like this. And let's give it a 7/12 slope, and okay. And let's look at our section here. Now you'll notice that this roof is sitting above the top of the wall here, which means that the style that we're using here to create this is a truss style. And if I go over here to the properties box, you can see where it says rafter or truss, and it's set to truss. If I set this to rafter and apply, it drops down, and now the rafter is resting on top of the wall rather than the bottom chord of the truss, which is what I want. Now I have some other options here. Notice also that, coming here to the end, we have what's called a plumb cut here at the bottom of the eave, and I can change that. I'm going to click it. First of all, I'm going to go, I could go square, and if I'm going to do that, I probably want a little bit of more fascia depth. I'm going to say maybe 8, 0.8. And apply that. And now you see it's square. That means that the end of it is perpendicular to the rafter itself. But I can go ahead and change that back to 2-cut plumb and apply. And now I have a choice on how deep I want that rafter to be. Let's say I want it to be 0.6 and apply. Now you see that the bottom of the rafter has been cut off a little bit, and I get my 6-inch fascia there. I like the 8, so I'm going to go back to 8 and apply. And what I want to show you now, let's take a look at this thing in 3D view. What I want to do is, let's say we want an atrium roof on this. We want a central atrium here, and we want a glass covered roof, or at least a partial roof. We can do that very easily. I'm going to go back to my level 1 plan here, and I want to put this guy more in the middle. And I'm going to go to this section here, and I've got a reference plane here. Let's see how high that is. So I'm going to go to my dimension tool here, and that says 4 feet. Let's see what 5 does. No, I like 4. Let's go back to 4. What I'm doing here is I'm figuring a place that I want to do a cutoff. In other words, I'm going to chop this roof right at this line here, and I'm going to create a glass roof that goes on the top of that. So I'm going to select the roof. And if I come over here to my properties box, notice where it says cutoff level here under constraints, and it says none. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to make it from the level roof, and I'm going to make it 4 feet and hit apply, and now I have chopped off my roof. And I'm going to go ahead and create another roof right to go in that spot there, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab my roof tool again. All right, I'll go to my roof plan. It wants me to get in a different view. Okay, roof tool again. And this time I'm going to pick lines, 0 offset, and everything defining slope, that's fine. And I'm just going to pick here, and here, and here, and here. And let's give the slope, let's give it a little bit of slope. Let's give it a 9 and 12 slope. And apply. And say OK. And let's see what we got. There's our roof. We need to move it up. So go to my section view here. And I'm going to use my move tool. Like that. So now, as you see, I've got 2 roofs here at differing slopes. Now what I want to do is I want to make this a greenhouse roof, so I'm going to select it. And I'm going to go to my drop down here and I'm going to pick slope glazing. And there it is. I'm going to go to my section view again and move this guy up. Like being like that. And go back to my 3D view. Now if I look at the, I'm going to go ahead and select this guy and look at the edit type. And I have set this up so that I have one grid 1. It's hard to tell whether grid 1 is vertical or horizontal, but I assumed it was grid 1. I had done this earlier, by the way. And I gave this a maximum spacing of 3 feet. Now I could do one vertical, excuse me, this is vertical. I could do one horizontally, but for this type of roof I don't want to do that. But what I can do is I can add a mullion to it. I think I'll do that in the view. I'm going to the architecture tab and I'm going to pick mullion. And there's several sizes here. This looks pretty good. And I'm going to do it for all grid lines. Pick here, here, and here. And there we go. There's my little greenhouse roof. If I go inside, you see what it looks like. I did this just to show you got a lot of flexibility in roof styles. You know, we could have done something else with this, but I kind of like doing it that little atrium like that. The next thing I want to show you is how to create a Dutch gambrel roof. And I'm going to do that on this guy here. I'm going to my south elevation. And I need to create some reference lines. First of all, I'm going to create a midpoint for this. We're going to do it so that our gambrel roof goes up like this and down. So I'm going to grab my architecture tab and I'm going to do a ref plane. And I want the midpoint here. And take that all the way up. Make sure that it is centered right. And that looks good. Oh, I also want, I really need to add some limits for my overhang. So I'm going to go back to my roof level again. Come over here. And I'm going to do ref planes again. This is for my roof overhang, 1 space 6. And I'm going to go here, 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 and here. One of these for guideline purposes. Now I'm going to do a extrusion, and for an extrusion you always need a plane to extrude from. So I'm going to select this guy, and I'm going to name it so I can find it later, and I'm just going to call it roof. And now I'm going to go back to my south elevation. There are my guidelines. I'm going to make sure that this thing is exactly in the center. Yeah, it looks like it is. I need actually 2 more guidelines. When I create a gambrel roof, I inscribe a square inside a circle to give me my points where the roof changes slope. And once again, it's a good guideline. I'm going to the Annotate tab, and I'm going to pick on Detail Line. Detail Line just being a line. It's not a model element, it's an annotative element, a line element. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to grab my circle radius tool here, and there's my start point. And I'm going to just take it to the edge of the walls. And now I can see that that's not right. I'm going to Control Z that. Try that again. Annotate. Detail line. Circle. Make sure I'm right there. That looks good. And now I'm going to do my rectangle. So once again, detail lines. I'm going to grab this inscribed polygon tool here, and I'm going to make sure the sides are 4, and I'm going to do it here. And what I want is whoops. Let's try the other one. Let's do this guy here. Nope, the other one was right. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. It had to be the other one. Yeah, this is it. So here's the top of my roof. Here's the flex point. Here's the beginning of my roof. So now I'm ready to create my roof. Architecture tab. Roof tool. But I'm going to do the drop down here. And I'm going to do a roof by extrusion. Only way to do this. Pick a plane. This is why we named that plane. I can pick my roof plane here to do my extrusion on. Say OK. And level roof. That's OK. And now all I do is get my line tool here, and I'm going to go from here to there to there. I'm going to extend this down to here, and I can do that with this little extension tool here. Here's the line I'm going to extend to, and I'm extending this down. Now we can put a little curve on the edge here. You know, these sometimes they put a little curve on it for aesthetic purposes. We can do that. I'm just going to grab my line tool here and drag this out a little way like that, 4 feet. That's good. This needs to be perpendicular to this, And now I can use my center start ends arc. There's my center point. I'm going to start it, and I'm going to bring it down to there. And I don't need this anymore. And I need to trim things up. TR, this to there like that. And that looks pretty good, so I'm going to grab these. And I'm going to use my mirror tool about that center line. And I'll say OK to that. And if I go to my 3D view, there's my roof. Now, one thing I need to do, I'm going to go back to my roof plan again. I need to extend the back of this roof out to my overhang point. And now I can go ahead and click this wall here, this wall here, and attach the top to there. So there's our Dutch gambrel roof. And of course we could put a dormer in here. If I was going to do a dormer for this, I would probably do one that's a continuous roof slope off of this down. I'll let you figure out how to do that if you want to. One other roof I'd like to show you. I'm going to delete this. Is a flat roof. Mainly used, in commercial type structures. I'm going to go to the roof plan level here, and I don't need these anymore, so I'm going to get rid of them. It wouldn't help to have this in the middle. Let's do another one in the middle, just as a guide. And I want middle, say like that. Oops. And the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to create a flat roof, and we're going to have a parapet around it, and we're going to need to put a roof drain in it to drain the roof, because it won't be able to drain off the sides of the buildings. So I'm going to go grab my roof tab again, my roof tool, and this time I'm going to select a commercial roof, and I'm going to use this, let's find it here. Insulation on metal deck with an EPDM. EPDM, that is a rubber membrane, and this is going to be sitting on insulation and some type of metal decking. Select that. I don't want any overhang, so I'm going to say 0 on the overhang. And I'm going to, I don't want any slope, so I'm going to turn off define slope and pick my walls tool. Here, I'm on the inside here, here, and here, and I'll say OK to that. And let's move this section over here. Now here's my roof. Insulation and concrete, and then metal decking. Now we want to put a parapet around this, so I'm going to go to my 3D view, and I'm going to select all these walls. Make sure I got them all. I do. And I'm going to give the top offset, say 3 feet, and apply. And now I've got a parapet. So now I need to add some way to drain this roof. So I'm going to go back to the roof again. And I'm going to tab select until I get my roof. And there it is. going to select it. And in the ribbon now, I have something called shape editing. And this allows you to, for both floors and roofs and for topographic solids, allows you to change the shape of the object by modifying sub-elements. And I'm going to click on Modify Sub-Elements. And now you can see the control points that make up this roof. And I have edges here, and I have points. I'm going to click on this point here, and I can see that point is 7 3/4 inches above the current level, current base level. Let's see that. Yeah, that works. So we'll just say from current level. But we want to create a roof drain here, which means we need to raise the edges of the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and make that 9 inches. 0 space 9. And say OK. And I'm going to do that to all 4 corners. In the field, the contractor would place sloping pieces of insulation to get this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a roof drain right in the middle here. Now this is a pretty simple roof, so we probably could do it, and then we would have a drain that goes down an interior wall and it drains to the outside. If this is more complex, I would probably go ahead and use the split line tool here to break it down into sections and then add my roof drains in each section. But for this case here, I'm just going to go ahead and add a point, and I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to select it, and it's at 9 inches. I don't want that. I want that to be at I think it was 7 inches. 0 space. Actually, it was 7 3/4. Wasn't it? 0 space. I'm just going to say 0 space 7. So that is to press down. Don't want to press down too much because then you lose insulation. And I'm going to. That looks good. So I'm going to hit Escape. And now if I go to my 3D view here, you notice that my roof is sloping down, and I've created these little valleys that grow down. And if I go to my section view here, here's what you see. You can see it sloping down. Now, unfortunately, notice that the bottom is also sloping, and I don't want that. I want the bottom to go straight across. It's, being supported by some type of structure that goes straight across, but I want the top to slope down. And actually, it'd be the insulation that would be a slope type of insulation. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to go to Edit Type, Edit. And all these things have a thickness. But I want the metal deck here, the structural piece here, or it could be the concrete, and I don't want that. I want that to be vary. So I'm going to click on that and say OK. And now you notice that I'm flat along the bottom here, and I've got my slope to my drain, to my roof. That's all I really have. I just wanted to show you these things. They are different from what the contractor has, and I think it's something you should know how to do. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end this recording. And once again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. If you're trying to create a special roof and don't know how to do it, let me know, and I'll do what I can to help you.